been pushing this video off. Danny's World's biggest update came out 4 days ago now, and I'm literally just now getting to the real juice. For context, before we knew about the new tune, Brusha, she was a complete mystery. But we did know one singular detail about her, and that detail was that Tisha hated her freaking guts. So after this character was released, everyone was over the moon to hear their tune's voice line. Sorry, voice line. There's not one of them, there's not two, or even three. These two tunes have a record-breaking 4 dialogue conversations. So we're gonna finally dig up the past of Brusha, check out her other voice lines, as well as Dyle's voice lines. But first, here's a really funny meme that we're gonna go back to that needs context. Here's some voice lines, the Shrimp Man, or rather, what Dyle says about Shrimpo.
Honestly, I'm not sure why we keep Shrimpo around.
Jeez. Normally I read them and then react, but jeez, that's brutal.
I've had intrusive thoughts of just taking him on a train ride one day, and that would be his last stop ever.
I haven't read that yet.
And that would be his last stop ever.
Oh, well. So in case you didn't pick up what I picked up on that, Dyle wants to kill Shrimpo on a train. So does the meme make sense now? We'll go back. But first, I want to see how other people think of this. And this person's saying, are they too insensitive if they agree with Dyle? You agree? For me, Shrimpo isn't that likable of a tune in my opinion. Nah, man. Well, he's not supposed to be likable. He literally sends death threats. Oh wait, Shrimpo does too? Oh, he does. He did. To be fair, Shrimpo does want to stick Tax and Louie. So, you know what? Hold on. You know what? You're onto something. I fear Shrimpsons, fanboys of Shrimpo, will smite me if I agree with Dyle. Don't worry, I don't know if they exist. I like what FNF Corruption said. I think he hit the nail on the head. I love Shrimpo in the fandom. I do too. Like in the loreverse. But canonically, so essentially, how tunes interact with each other. I see where Dyle's coming from. I'd honestly be more than peeved if I had to deal with Shrimpo for who knows how long. But don't forget, Shrimpo likes one unspecified thing. This is canon. This has been confirmed. But also don't forget, he's just a bully because he likes being a bully. So either way, slight detour. But Thomas the Choo-Choo Train's pulling into the freaking station. But they absolutely cooked with this meme. Nadia the meme. This is made by Nadia. This is freaking awesome. Let's look at everyone's faces. Blot shocked. Louie's, mogging? Scraps is scared. Astro's scared. Tegan's terrified. Pebble is... Shelly's dead. R&D's anxious. Gigi's happy. This is oh, I just realized Roger's covering Toodle's face. 10 out of 10, and then Goop writing in. Okay, the reason you clicked on the video. Let's get into the tea, baby. So before we get into the real juice, let's go over Brusha's other interactions, which is not many, but we do have one with Boxer Brown. You know, Brusha, your art is very nice. Why, thank you. I am the best artist, despite what others may say. What do you mean by that? Never mind. You wouldn't understand the challenges an artist like me faces. So, they're stuck up. Brush is a stuck up little noodle head. I hate art! Your hatred is so vivid, I cannot even take offense. I hate that you're not taking offense! If my art invokes such emotion, it is worthy art. You'll never be worthy! Gotta be honest, feel like I'm cooking the voice lines right now. Can I get a like on the video for that? Let's go. Like, actually, I feel like I'm doing good. I do. I know there's always a lot of comments too, like, can you stop doing the voices? No, it's fun for me. Did you ever think of that? And now, it seems like literally every voice line that Brusha has is negative. Let's look at V's. Your game show is okay.
Your art is okay.
Just okay.
I've seen better.
Same can be said about your game show. Wow, yeah, she's so likable. Wow. All right, let's get into the tea. I know you want it. I know I want it. Nor dial voice lines. Yeah. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I am gonna go over these because I want to. However, okay, this is Dyle. I often actually chat with Sprout, seeing as I supply fresh food. Okay, so Dyle supplies the food. This makes Dandy's infection feel so much more real. Shout out to the Dandy's infection series. There is a train that leads outside of Garden View itself. I ensure supplies end up here. So, when they're all still stuck inside. Han, before I give my lore piece, finish the voice lines, hopeless.
Of course, no other tune is allowed on this specific train. You wouldn't imagine the things I have to do to ensure we get these few luxuries.
Okay. Mic drop. The train conductor Dyle. But what is it that he has to do? If you haven't watched my Dyle lore video yesterday, I would consider checking that out. I'm pretty sure that he has to do specifically Delilah and Arthur's bidding. And there's a specific reason why they don't want him to be with the normal tunes. Well, not the normal tunes, but everyone else. Like, they basically said, you were never supposed to be a part of them. You will never be a part of them, you stupid little clock. And yet, Dyle has no animosity towards, it seems like, anyone. So, W, bro. Okay, I'll go with what you want to see. I thought that was important. And before even reading anything, I'm sorry. Shut up, Siri! There's a lot of enthusiasm in Brusha's voice. So I'm gonna read a voice line, and then I'm gonna talk about it, read a voice line, talk about it, but then I'm gonna read the last two, and then talk about them together. Tisha, I've been working on tons of new pieces lately. You should, right! You're still doing the whole ignoring me thing. Well, you're always welcome to come visit. Probably knew that. Something happened. Something happened between those two that we don't know. Are we gonna find it out in these next voice lines? Let's find out. The last floor wasn't so bad. That was a terrible Tisha voice. That last floor wasn't so bad. Of course it wasn't. Now we work so well with one another. Right? Oh, come on! Can't you even acknowledge me? I was saying a nice thing. Don't raise your voice, Brusha. Ugh! Tisha. Bro. Tisha has got Brusha ball and chain. Tisha could say, hey, Brusha, go jump off a cliff, and I think Tisha would. All right, let's read these last two and see if we can piece the puzzle together and if there's any loose ends that tie these two together even more. Stop looking at me that way. I can't stand being in this elevator. Sorry, Brusha. Brusha, do you want something to tie your bristles back? You know I don't want any help from you. Right. I have a habit of asking. The show was years ago. Get over it. You know, I think you're capable. Doesn't feel like it. What the flop? Am I crazy, or was I the only one that was like electro waves through my brain after that? What? I think the real question when looking at this is, what's the correct order in when these questions were asked? Who hated who first? If I had to guess, these two happened, and then Brusha opened up to Tisha, and then she did something. And if I recall correctly, on my first ever literal minute of the new update, the first thing I did was come over here and I went to gossip. And Dandy does have something to say about Brusha and Tisha. Have you seen Brusha and Tisha when together? Ooh, it is awful. Those two used to be super, super close. But now, yeesh. Now that I think about it, Brusha really has changed since the show debuted her. She got real irritable. Unlike me, I'm always very collected and calm. Interesting. So the most important detail that we can take from this is that Brusha had really changed after they debuted her. The show was years ago, get over it. And Tisha says, you know, I think you're capable. Something happened in one of the episodes that I think probably completely embarrassed Brusha and made her lose all of her credibility, or just embarrass her that much. Also, when Brusha paints, it's always this like purple dystopia. I'm convinced that there's some time or some place that might already have it, a poster with Brusha in it regarding a bad episode. One that I can only assume maybe Tisha might have said something really negative. That's my guess. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna wrap up today's video. Until next time, I love you guys. Take care.